ever find yourself over delivering for clients, feeling like a one-woman show, or letting your fears get in the way? Well, if that is true, then you're not alone, because these are the three biggest money mistakes that I see most female entrepreneurs making, and they're mistakes that I've also made myself. Now, if this resonates with you, then you're going to love today's episode of Money Doesn't Have to Be Stressful. This is the weekly show for female entrepreneurs who love doing meaningful work out there in the world, but often struggle with the money piece of entrepreneurship. And I am your host, Laura Cook, and I'm also the creator of the free 5-day challenge to master your money mindfully. Now, wouldn't it be amazing, and it would feel so nice to finally get to one day when money just felt perfect, it felt easy, it felt effortless. You know, we all sort of started off this entrepreneurship journey with this sense of wanting to feel financially free. Well, until we all get there, which is going to be an amazing place when we do, we really need to take the time to look back on what mistakes we've made in the past, but also the mistakes we're currently making, and look at how we can learn from those and make changes in our life to make our money situation easier and feel a greater sense of freedom. So today we're going to dive into the three biggest mistakes. And the first one we're going to tackle is over-delivering. Now, for as long as I can remember, I've been somebody who over-delivered in the past. And this happening for me significantly before I even became an entrepreneur. I can look back and see that I routinely was working 50, 60, sometimes 70-hour weeks as an employee for a fixed amount of income. So I was giving more time and more energy than I was actually being paid for. And this became a bit of a problem when I first became an entrepreneur, because sure, I was giving the time and energy, which I was used to doing, extra time and energy, but it limited my ability to be able to make money and to be able to make a good living and have a good life and not feel the stress and the pressure of trying to make ends meet each month. So think about this. How many times have you ever jumped onto a call or had a meeting, an appointment with a client that was meant to take an hour and it's ended up taking 2 or maybe even longer? I know I certainly have had this happen to me on many, many occasions, and it's because I really wanted to solve their problems. I wanted to answer all their questions. I wanted to really, really help them. It was really important to me that I helped and made a difference for them and helped them take away a lot of the stress and the struggle that they were going through themselves. The problem is that this leads to burnout. It's exhausting not just for you, but also for your clients, and you're not serving them well. By giving them too much and overwhelming them, you're also limiting their ability to put a lot of those actions and those steps and those ideas actually into practice and actually see some change and some improvement in their business or in whatever way you're actually helping them with. But the bigger underlying problem that you find if you're someone who over-delivers is you'll have an underlying belief. Something like, I'm just not good enough, I'm not worthy enough. And you'll constantly feel this need to do more, to fix things, to try harder, to prove yourself more. And this is going to massively also link to your pricing. The two things go hand in hand, over-delivering and also underpricing. I can guarantee that if you do one, you'll also do the other. And this can leave you in a very unsustainable position. So you will be giving all of your time, all of your energy for not a sustainable or equitable amount of financial resource. And that is what will lead you to feeling stressed and under greater pressure each month. Now, certainly for myself, I very quickly had to establish boundaries. So in the scenario of having a meeting which was rolling on for significantly longer than it should, I would remember at the beginning of the meeting to reiterate how long we had together. Halfway through, I would remind us where we were. And 5-10 minutes before the end, I would just kind of say, look, we're coming to the end of our meeting. Let's summarize our actions so that we know what we're going to do between now and the next time we meet. And what happened if a client then jumped in with an extra topic that they wanted to talk about is I would then step back and I'd say, that's great. I'd love to talk about that. Let's make a note of that and put that top of the agenda for next time. And what I often found is that they would then come back to me and they would go, oh, no, that's not important enough of a topic. I want to talk about this next time. So you can see that actually those things where the clients are taking up your time actually might not be a top priority for your client. So remember to think about putting and setting up boundaries around how much work you deliver to make sure that you're getting the correct and a reasonable amount of monetary payment for the work that you're actually delivering. Okay, so let's move on to mistake number 2, which is letting your fears get in the way and also secretly hoping that someone or something else is going to get rid of them for you. So, you know how sometimes you will have those days where you're really just freaking out, where you have days where you think, where are all the clients going to come from? The economy is just so bad, it's horrendous at the moment. No one's ever going to work with me. And what if I lose it all? What if I spend it all and there's just none left? Does any of this sound familiar? Because I certainly recognize some of that in myself. Now, not only do we have these fears, but if you're someone like me, you grew up in the Disney era where we were all surrounded by and watched so many fairy tales. And if that's true, then you're likely going to suffer from the Cinderella syndrome, where you secretly wish and hope for your fairy godmother and your Prince Charming to magically appear and make things great and easy and effortless for you and to take a lot of your pain and stress away. Now, sometimes that could be in the form of an ideal client miraculously appearing from nowhere and paying for your top high-end program or purchasing your most expensive item, which gives you a huge cash injection and money injection into your business really, really quickly. Or maybe it's in the guise of a mentor or a coach who you're hoping is just going to come in, tell you exactly what to do and solve all of your problems in your business. Or maybe it's in the sense of you're hoping for a really successful entrepreneur to come into your life, sweep you off your feet, and just simply take care of all the money and just take care of you. Well, frankly, nobody is going to come and make this happen for you. Nobody else truly knows what it is that you want and what you desire. And we don't have any fairy godmothers waiting in the wing, ready to spread magic all over our world and ensure that our Prince Charming rocks up and our happily ever after actually does happen. We are not Cinderella. Now, yes, when we think about and we feel things around money, it definitely feels tough when money is involved. And I know that you want to be a successful entrepreneur, and I know that you also want to make a good living in order to have a good life and in order to be able to make a bigger impact on the world. And you're absolutely right. Nobody taught us how to do this. Nobody taught us how to do this. And as women, we typically aren't conditioned to take responsibility for the money or to, with the expectation that we would grow up and run businesses and have this type of responsibility placed upon us. But we chose this. We took this decision and we chose this. And knowing these things doesn't change anything. It really is up to us to take 100% responsibility for making things happen and for making success happen in our life. And I know that I personally found this especially difficult at a point in time where my husband quit his job and decided to become self-employed. And overnight, I became the breadwinner and the sole income generator in our business as a business owner myself. And at that point, fear can very quickly take hold. It can really quickly become very, very stressful and feel like it's all just too much responsibility to bear. And it's easy to become really stressed out and just focus on what makes you and keeps you really, really busy instead of all the things that will actually help to generate you income. Or it can also be really paralyzing and you can become immobilized by the pressure and the stress of everything. And it's easy to tell yourself that someday you'll get round to the big things and the difficult things like money. But what actually happens is the bills still keep coming in, and all the clients that you had, or the flow of clients that you had, starts to dry up more and more and more. Now, being an entrepreneur can be the best, and it can also be the worst thing that you ever do. It's going to test you, it's going to push your limits, and it's going to push you into new directions. And we need to be able to work through those fears and also be able to step up to be our very own fairy godmother and our very own Prince Charming for ourselves. Okay, and now the final mistake we're going to move on to is the mistake of trying to be a one-woman show. Now, this is definitely something, again, that I have struggled with and a mistake that I've fallen foul of plenty of times. Certainly when I first started out, I had this attitude of, if I can do it, I should do it. So if I can build a website, learn how to do coding and build like funnels and these automated systems, then I should absolutely do that, right? Shouldn't I? Or if I am capable of answering the phone or sending an email, then I should do that, right? Shouldn't I? And because I worked at home and had set up my home office, then I was at home. I should be able to do the cleaning and the laundry and run errands because, well, I'm at home, right? Aren't I? So I should be able to do that. And it felt like I had the time to do that because I wasn't fully booked with clients at that point, and I didn't have as much money coming in as when I'd been employed. So it felt like I couldn't afford to do those things. But let me tell you that no, you should not be doing all of those things. And nobody has ever built a 6, let alone a 7-figure business by doing everything. And if you're somebody who thinks like this, what you're actually telling yourself is that watch me burn out because I want to prove you wrong. I want to prove that I can do this all on my own. And it really is about ego and pride that is stopping you from looking at alternative ways to not be a one-woman show and alleviate some of the stress and the pressure in your life. So I want to say that and encourage you to start outsourcing now. And it could be something as simple as paying £5 a month for an appointment scheduler. So you don't have to go back and forth over emails booking appointments with people anymore. But maybe it's looking at a bigger, more significant 10, 15, £20,000 investment with a coach or a mentor or a branding specialist, somebody that can help you really solve a very specific problem or can help you break through the income limit where you're at now and help you get to the next level. It's absolutely an essential to create, develop, and hone the mentality of being a CEO so that you can ensure that your time and your energy is really focused on the tasks that are most important towards generating revenue for you. And where possible, to outsource, systemize, and delegate as soon as you possibly can, and where it makes financial sense to do so. Now, our goal as the CEO, as the entrepreneur of our business, is to really be able to step up and own this, to be able to get the best return on your energy, your time, and any financial investment you make in your business so that it has the impact of creating and allowing you to have this amazing life, which is what you aspire for. And this great sense of freedom. Because if you don't, and you try to do everything yourself, you're basically sabotaging yourself. You're basically limiting your ability to focus on and do revenue generating activities. So you're not allowing yourself to truly step up and be a successful entrepreneur. So we've covered today the 3 biggest mistakes that I see female entrepreneurs making. And if you've loved today's conversation, I would absolutely love to hear from you, particularly if any of these mistakes resonate with you. I'd love to hear how they've shown up for you and how you've managed to navigate those, or if you're still trying to navigate those now, reach out and ask any questions. I'd love to be able to reach out and support you. Now, I hope that today has empowered you to start to take a look at some of the mistakes you've made currently in the past and start to learn from those and put some different perspective on it so you can start to take informed action towards improving your business and your time and energy and financial reserves so you can get the greatest value from those. Now, if you have loved the show today, then I would highly recommend that you sign up for the 5-day Master Your Money Mindset Challenge, which is due to kick off on the 1st of October. We dive much deeper into some of these topics, and they are a fabulous way of helping you to identify areas where you may be subconsciously sabotaging yourself and preventing yourself from stepping up to be a truly successful entrepreneur. Now, I'll pop the link in the comments so you can instantly gain access to that and then be put on the waiting list to be sent the challenge from the 1st of October. Now, thanks again for being with me today, and I can't wait to see you again next week on next week's episode of Money Doesn't Have to Be Stressful. So until then, take care.